Good evening. This is 8 questions. Tonight I am joined by Lass Ketchum of Lass Ketchum, a channel on YouTube.
Hi.
Lass Ketchum, what is the absolute dumbest way you can think of to spend $1 million?
Okay, again, first, one, by the way, obviously I suck at this and I'm hashtag the ADHD is like I'm not looking at you, so cues are gonna be extra sucky for me. So if I'm all over the place, people, you know why. But I had to tell you immediately, like your character, your little person that you have on here is this beautiful blend in my brain of Inside the Actors Studio and the sensei on Assassination Classroom, which I don't know if you've seen it, but it like is a perfect blend of those two people and it's absolutely amazing.
I have not seen it, but he sounds very handsome.
Oh, I mean, obviously. So, as far as I like almost forgot actually I did. I totally forgot the question. Oh, $1 million. What would I do with it? And I also have to say, I really am bad about like picking one thing. I suck at favorites. I kind of just go by the moment and what tickles my fancy then. But as far as like if it has to be completely not practical, right? Like not like paying off debt or charity or like whatever.
No, that would be
Um,
smart. This is the dumbest way you can
yeah,
think of.
the dumb way. I feel like I would get a bunch of tattoos to finish off what I want, because obviously that's no way necessary. And I would love to scoop up people and travel and maybe just have a YouTube channel just to straight up eat and hang out in various places because I am a foodie so hardcore. Like it would be my dream to just travel and eat. I would love that.
Well, that would be great. Actually, that sounds kind of a smart way to spend it as well.
I'm like, but to me, I'm always like, there's always probably more practical things to spend it on, or donate. And I'm like, I would just want to blow it on traveling and eating and having fun and having more tattoos. Like, that would make me so happy.
What Funko Pop or series do you regret buying or collecting?
I'm going to be honest, I really don't regret much of anything in life because I feel like all of it is always like lessons, learning. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really think there's like a moment where it's like, oh, that was completely stupid. Like, there's value in all things, I feel like silver lining mentality, I guess. I mean, there might be some that maybe I'm like, man, I wish I still had that, but not in like a totally crazy, desperate way. So, I don't really feel like there's any, if that makes sense, because they all serve a moment, a memory, a like something, because I collect based on nostalgia or things that I actually just love and like, or supporting people that I love and paying into mystery boxes or whatever. Or even things that just excite me because of like maybe a color or a detail or an artistic element, if that makes sense. So I really don't think any.
What famous person, alive or dead, would you like to have a deep, meaningful conversation with? And or some boom boom in the bedroom?
I mean, that's a sassy question immediately. So I'm like, dang, you have no idea how many things run through my head when you say that. Like as far as like, and I'm like, man, would I want them to be the same, different, or some weird version in between, whatever that would even mean? Because for me, one, I hate the idea of only having a conversation. Like, if I was going to powwow with somebody in history, I would straight up want to be like, let's go have drinks, let's create something together, let's like hang, like experience them as a person, if that makes sense, not just who they are or necessarily sharing only wisdom moments. Like I would want to experience people as people. But I feel like if I were to pick people, and again, I suck at choices, but I like the idea of like, I don't know, like there's so many famous like artists, for instance, like Picasso, Monet, like even something like Thomas Cole. Like one of my favorite pieces of art is Voyage of Life Youth because it was something I got to see as like a fourth grader. So like it always spoke to me. I thought it was cool. I love the artists that do things and themes based on mental health and like psychoanalysis and like I don't know. I like dark art, so I think artists would be cool. I love poets. all kinds of things. Like I just feel like I'm like, can I just be in like some weird artsy like meeting and us all just chill? I don't know, like let's make pizza together or something. I think that would be epic. I really did try to think of just one person though, and I'm like somebody that comes to mind that is more modern. I think just because I think they've had an interesting history, I think they have interesting wounds. I think they've carried those things well, and they seem like a genuine, like just nice human being. Is Keanu Reeves? I don't know why. I just feel like it would be like a cool conversation, like just an interesting person.
Keanu's the man. There's only two things I'm serious about, and one of them is Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, right? Like, how could you not be? Let's get real, you know? But yeah, no. And I mean, I'd probably also boom, up with Keanu Reeves as well. Cause I mean, I also think he's attractive. I enjoy his movies. But I mean, I feel like I would be probably, honestly, when you mentioned the boom and the bedroom vibe, my first thought, and I feel like it's just because in society, I think women are portrayed more in a sensual way, especially like in older times. My first thought was actually Betty Page. Um,
Oh,
yeah, because I'm like, she's just a symbol of that, sensuality and eroticness. And she's just like, I don't know, like edgy and cool. And it was almost like a statement at the time that she was popular. So that was one of the first people that comes to mind. But at the same time, like I said, I'd be down with Keanu Reeves or Brad Pitt or like probably several people. And I love artists and like, I don't know, like I feel like it's hard to pick, as dumb as that sounds.
What is the first thing you ever started collecting?
Oh man, one that involves a better memory probably than I have, but I feel like it's just always been things that make me happy, and that could be everything from finding like gemstones to I'm obsessed with Batman. Like I have so much random Batman stuff. Like my grandmother, even when I was little, made me like a homemade Batman cape that I still have. So I know that one, but like I said, it really is just anything that I thought was fun, cool, cute, excited me in some way, if that makes sense.
What would a Funko Pop of you look like?
Oh my gosh. Well, for my like little icon or whatever, like I picked Merida with Batman because obviously hashtag obsessed with Batman for anybody that's already familiar with my channel. But Merida is just, she's got the hair, I've got the long, like strawberry blonde curly hair. So I feel like that is just a requirement immediately. Even if it's not Batman, I feel like whoever, like whatever it would look like, I feel like I would need some type of chill mode clothes because I love like t-shirts and like yoga pants. So comfort is a must. And I feel like if I had any accessories, it would probably need to be like, as dumb as this also sounds, and I'm like, I don't even know how they'd make this look good. Like, I feel like I would need food, like pizza or enchiladas or like something like that. But and maybe like a little like Pokemon t-shirt or something. But I don't know. I feel like I wish I would have like interchangeable accessories, if that makes sense. But I feel like the hair and then maybe something tying in with Batman and Pokemon and yeah.
so like Merida head, Pokemon T-shirt, yoga pants, holding a Batman pop, and maybe a plate of enchiladas.
Bet. I would be down.
If someone offered you the full Pop price guide value for your entire collection right now, cash money, in a briefcase, a fancy one, would you take it?
Honestly, I feel like I would say yes, and the only reason I would say yes is I could use that money to buy back my absolute favorites. But I could also put that money towards maybe a tattoo and maybe at least one trip where I could vlog eating somewhere. So slightly into my $1 million goals, but on a much lower scale. Because again, like a lot of these, it's not like you could never get them again. And I don't have any pops in my collection that are like thousands of dollars. I think the most expensive one I have is around 200. So it would be affordable, if that makes sense, to get back the ones that are more important or meaningful to me.
What is the meanest YouTube comment you have ever received?
Oh my gosh, I have been so hashtag blessed as far as YouTube. I feel like I've only had 2 even negative comments ever at this point. Um, Yeah, like I really have been very lucky in that aspect, which as I continue to grow may change. But I'm really happy that I haven't really had a lot of negativity on my channel. I've had a lot of positive support and feedback. The only negative things I can think of is I think it was a Pokemon opening. And I remember someone said that my photo was like my thumbnail was cringy. And I like literally straight up laughed because I didn't find it offensive because I actually agreed with them because it was absolutely ridiculous. And I was like, totally. So it didn't even turn into anything and it amused me. And then I had somebody one time when I really like very first was getting into this, picked on me about trying to do a waffle because I didn't understand them at that point. I didn't know what it meant. I was just like, cool, I can help people get a pop they want. I can raise a little money and I can put all that money into giveaways. And put them back into the community. But somebody just assumed that was just me trying to get money out of people. And they made that very clear in their comments. And I'm like, that's really not my intention. And I ended up just giving away the pop instead of doing the waffle because, again, like my intention was really just to kind of give back in the community in general. So I was like, you know what? I don't even understand how this works. So I'm not going to worry about it. But even that, I think, was somebody with technically good intentions, if that makes sense, because they were looking out for people already in this community and I was new. And I can understand if you don't know people, you don't know their intentions or what they're about. So yeah, I mean, really, that's been the worst of it. So it's really not bad.
I still don't know what a waffle is. I'm just like,
I'm not gonna lie, I
Belgian
really
one?
don't know how they work, and I don't even want to because it just seems like work.
We will conclude this interview with a question invented by the great Bernard Pivot, chairman of Academy Goncourt. Lass Ketchum, what is your favorite curse word?
This question, I love how you say this. You make it so fun sounding. Oh my gosh. I feel like again, look, I'm like basically saying the same thing on every question where I'm like, how do you choose? But I think one of my favorites, just because I feel like it's such a diverse word as far as like emotional expression, is I love the word fuck. Because it can be everything from excitement, like fuckity fuck yeah. It can be you're pissed off, like fuck you. It could be you're horny, fuck me, or even upset in the version of fuck me. Like there's just so much use, or even like adding random other words like fuck balls, or you know what I mean? Like there's so many random ways you can throw that in there and it's still acceptable and it's fun, if that makes sense. So
Chairman Bernard Pivot was very fond of dropping a good old-fashioned fucking A.
like I said, I feel like you could throw almost a million things after the word fuck and it still makes sense and be like somewhat acceptable.
I'd like to thank Lass Ketchum for joining me on 8 Questions. Check out her channel if you like your Funko Pop videos with a little bit of a Texas twang.